Hi, welcome back to day 9 of my 12 days of Christmas crafting. Not long to go at all for the big day. Today I wanted to show you another way to make a good Christmas decoration using an embroidery hoop. So you can see here I'm using the rest of this chipboard sheet from the crepe paper, the snowflake collection. I've got some white pom-pom trim and I've also got some fabric as well. Now if you've got Christmas fabric that would be perfect, or even just plain. I've just used something that's got a similar colour scheme as the crepe paper collection itself. So first of all, I'm just going to measure this roughly to the size of the hoop, and then I'm going to give it a really good press on the iron because you don't want any creases in this. I've also got a piece of this glitter tulle as well, this really wide ribbon that I'm going to use just as the base of that. I want it to try and give an almost sparkly snowy effect at the bottom of my hoop. Of course, if you do this, you also create yourself a little pocket, so you could always put things in there as well if you wanted to. Obviously, couldn't be too heavy, and I'm just wrapping it around the embroidery hoop now. Now, normally if you're doing cross stitch or embroidery, you would actually have the fabric on the outside of the hoop, but you do this the opposite way, so the fabric's on the inside of the hoop, if that makes sense. You can see the back side of it there is almost what is usually the front side. And then once that's in, I'm just tightening it up, and then I'm just going to give it a nice trim all the way around the edge. Now, again, I've probably cheated a little here. I was hoping to make 5-minute crafts, but because some of this video is speeded up, I would say it probably took me 15-20 minutes. And I'm excluding any time left for drying. So you'll see once I've trimmed this, just to try and hide some of those extra little bits. I then go around with this white pom-pom trim. I'm just using some liquid glue, and I'm just gluing this all around the edge. So I did actually leave this probably about an hour as well before I came back to the project, just to make sure I didn't knock it out of place and it was completely dry. Now, of course, you don't necessarily need to use pom-pom trim. You see that I've just used my tweezers actually just to hold that in place because it was setting a little bit crooked. You could use any kind of ribbon or just leave it as it is. You could paint the hoop a colour with some paints, as well as another option, or some glitter. And I'm just tying that last bit there. So there's just a few little points where it wasn't, it was kind of raising up off the hoop, so I just used those to flatten them down. And I really love the effect of the pom-pom. It's a great staple to have in your stash. Now, I originally thought this beautiful little Let It Snow embellishment would be at the bottom. In fact, that's what gave me the idea of the embroidery hoop. I've seen this all over Pinterest, and I thought that would be great to put at the bottom. But once I did place it there, I felt it would probably be better at the top rather than the bottom, because it was just going to hide all of that sparkly tulle that I'd put there if I did. I'm then just placing some of these little trees and some the little ephemera embellishments just around it as well. On reflection, I probably shouldn't have used such a colourful patterned background. They don't stand out too well on camera, but they do stand out really well on the wall itself. So I really actually, I'm really pleased with this overall. It's in my top 3 favourite projects over the 12 days, I have to say. It was a lot of fun to do, super quick, and using this chipboard piece as well, it's great. I've got so many different projects out of that. It's really good. Now, obviously, chipboard pieces are super sticky, so I was just putting those in place. You see me now using my hot glue gun just to make sure these aren't going to move out of place now that I've got them in the right position. So I would recommend this just to make sure they don't come across, especially it's not very good sticking onto fabric, so I always use a hot glue gun for this. I have to say, this was a painful project. I managed to burn myself with this hot glue gun, and I was immobilised for about 3 hours whilst I had a huge blister on the top of my fingers. So please be extra careful if you're using a glue gun. It shows that I've been a little bit out of practice. I've used it a few times over Christmas and forgotten how much fun it was actually, so it was good to make some projects using that. So you can see here, all I'm doing now is repositioning them now I've got the placement right. And you could do this with any, like I say, nice, quick and easy way to do this would be with a complete set like this crepe paper one. But if you've got stuff in your stash, you could easily do the same. If you've got some tiny baubles as well, they would probably fit, and you could hot glue those into the hoop as well. But I love the shape of it. I love that little Christmassy feel. This is going to be a gift that I'm going to pass on. But I love the overall effect, and I hope I've inspired you to try something different this Christmas as well with these little projects that I've been showing you. So Please come back, join us tomorrow. We've only got a few more days left to go. So day 10 tomorrow for a new project. Thank you for watching.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments about this video, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That way YouTube knows to recommend similar ones for you. And finally, if you'd like to see more from me, and I hope so, please subscribe by clicking the link below. I post new content every weekend.